Hey there, it's Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. We're going live here today on LinkedIn, and we're also going live on Facebook. And I was inspired this morning. It's Monday. What is it? Let me look at my calendar. December 23rd. I don't know how that happened. It was like 5 minutes ago. It was September 1st or 2nd or something. And then we look up and here we are. The end of the year is rushing in. And I was inspired this morning because I was going through my email box and I noticed there was a pattern. And tell me if you notice this pattern too. There appear to be a few individuals and organizations I don't know that have added me to their holiday email greeting, which in turn is adding me into their email list. Or perhaps they've had me in their email list all along, and this was the first time they emailed me. But at any rate, I was just kind of finding a bit, I went to the unsubscribe link. Let me start with that. I went to the unsubscribe link. And I started unsubscribing from these newsletters, these email lists, if you will, which inspired me to go live today on LinkedIn to talk about this marketing tip, which is holiday marketing email do's and don'ts. So we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. And while we're getting started with the conversation, I'd love to welcome you if you're joining me live or if you're watching this in playback mode. Do me a favor, leave me a comment. And I think on LinkedIn, it's going to be over to the that side over there. On Facebook or YouTube, you might be commenting below, but do leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining me from and if you're watching this in live or in the playback mode. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to pull up my phone now. This is a technique that I do whenever I go live on LinkedIn. I like to do audience interaction, and I'm just going to pull up my phone and wait until I see the stream where it's showing that I'm live on LinkedIn. And then I'm going to pull that up and start to see if there's any comments that are coming in from any of you. So this is a great little technique here of keeping up your audience engagement if you're doing live videos. And I'm not seeing it on my LinkedIn yet. So I'm going to go back. I usually will just pull up my phone and it'll give me a notification saying Brenda Meller is live on LinkedIn. But today it's not showing me that on my phone. So I'm not sure if it's not going live yet, guys. Whoops. Or if it's just, oh, I do see 2 people watching. So I know I am live here. I'm going to give it another second, and then I think we're just going to get started, and I'll go back into the live stream in a second. So if you're watching me live on LinkedIn, could you leave me a comment real quick? Just say good morning, hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from, and let me know that you're able to see the live broadcast. It looks like the stream is working perfectly fine, but I don't want to go too much further until I do the test on the AV there. This is a technique I picked up years ago when I first started doing webinar broadcasts. Every now and again, we might have a situation where either the audio wasn't working or the video wasn't streaming correctly. And we always like to kind of pause within the first few minutes of a webinar stream to do the same technique, which is just ask the audience, can you hear us okay? Is audio working okay? Because you don't want to get into a session 10 to 15 minutes down the line and realize, gosh, nobody could hear me that whole entire time. So I'm just waiting for it to come up. You know what I'm going to do is, okay, I see now. This is crazy. So it didn't give me the notification on my phone today. I'm using StreamYard. It didn't give me the notification saying I went live, but now I just discovered the stream and I see that there's 28 of you watching. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And let's see who we have on here. We have Sheik from Malaysia. Welcome. Terry, live from Ohio. Thank you for joining and for watching. Jeff is joining from sunny Columbus, Ohio. I think it's actually sunny out here today. I had to close my blinds so I didn't get too much of a background glare going on there. Jessica, hi from Michigan. What days do you send holiday emails? And she's in B2B, so we'll talk a little bit about that today. Maureen, live as I'm packing up things. Hopefully that means you're leaving for a holiday break or a vacation, or maybe just tidying things up in the office before you head out. Michelle saying, yep, you're live. Wayne, hi, Wayne. Wayne's one of my first LinkedIn, let me think how would I put this, I guess idols, if you will, Wayne. I read your book. I think I listened to your audio as I was starting to kind of grow my own LinkedIn business. So Wayne Breitbarth is a great resource. If you're not already following him, do so. Julia, good morning. Thanks for joining. Vicente, joining from the UK. Thank you for joining us, Vicente. And Mo, good morning from Detroit, Michigan. Tell Hiba I said hi and hope you and the kids are doing well. So let's get started here. So again, this is a focus today. I'm going to show you this right here on the screen. This is a focus on holiday marketing do's and don'ts. And it's that time of year, that the most wonderful time of the year, right, guys? Where, I just feel like it's this holiday crunch time of year. Everybody's trying to get their work done before the end of the year. And then you've got, on top of that, you've got family, you've got shopping, wrapping, cooking, baking, all those wonderful things. And on top of all of that, you're being sold to, and messages are being pushed on us. And some of these I really appreciate. Vistaprint, they gave me an email right around Thanksgiving, which was like order your holiday cards now and get 50% of your order. And that's what I did. And we have a beautiful holiday card that got out early. But there's some other messages that I've been receiving, and tell me if you're noticing this pattern too, where I've been added to an email list and I'm getting a happy holidays message. And that in and of itself, guys, is not wrong. I think it's great that we're wishing people happy holidays and that we're trying to connect with people from around the world and from within our networks. The part that bothered me a bit is some of these emails I'm getting, I did not subscribe to their list. And I don't know about you guys, so let me show you right now. I'm going to go into my email here. I'm not going to show you this, but I'm just looking in my email box right now. I've got 16,000 messages that are unread. And every day they add up, and I get more and more and more messages that are coming in here. And once upon a time, we as organizations, we as marketers, we could only reach people by pushing information out to them. And we did that in the form of either direct mail. We did that in the form of mass advertising. And we did that, once the internet came to be, and email rose onto the scene, then we could, push those messages out through the web, through advertising on the web and through email messages. Well, nowadays, there's this really cool thing called social media marketing. Isn't it amazing? And the great thing, one of the great things about social media marketing is you can find people where they wish to be found. You can communicate with people in their preferred platforms. And I don't know about you guys, but when I go onto social media, that is an action that I am taking, and I'm open to receiving information. Now, I might also be posting information either about myself, my family, my business, but I am taking an active role in both, receiving that information and sending that information out. So it's not obtrusive, right? You're going out there and you pay attention to the messages that resonate with you and you ignore the messages that don't. So, if you have an email list and you add somebody to the email list without their permission, technically you are violating the law. There's a law out there. It's called CAN-SPAM. And I don't know what it's an acronym. I don't know exactly what it stands for. If you're on the line and please drop in a comment below. But essentially, this law was created to prevent organizations from mass emailing people. And this has been on the books for years and years now. And basically what the rule says, and I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on this, but basically what the rule says is you can't add people to a mass email list without their explicit permission. Now let's focus on this explicit permission. When I connect with you on LinkedIn, I am saying I want to be connected with you on LinkedIn. I'm fine with, us in-mail messaging each other back and forth and sending communications back and forth. That is my permission to connect with you on LinkedIn. That does not say take my email and add it to your email list. It doesn't say add me into your drip campaign. It doesn't, give you that permission to add me into a sales funnel email tool, if you will. Okay. Now, if I'm interested in you and your business, and we communicate back and forth, and you drop me a message that says, hey, Brenda, it looks like, you might have some interest in this. Maybe if you're interested in doing business with me, let me know. But if not, you want to just continue to receive my tips, here's my email list. Would love it if you could subscribe. You know what? If you send that message to me and I'm interested in subscribing, I guarantee you guys, I will subscribe to your email because I think what you have to offer is of value. I'm going to give one example I did this with, and I can't remember the email communication. I think it's Michelangelo Caruso, and Michael is a public speaking coach and trainer, and I'm looking to up my public speaking game. So I think it was probably in an email back and forth between me and Michael. He had something in his email footer and it said, subscribe if you'd like to receive additional updates. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's like brilliant. He's always giving out great tips. So I hit that subscribe link and I'm getting his emails now. Now, I don't read every single email Michael sends out, but I do read some of them. But I have explicitly given him permission to email me, right? So that's I just want to kind of make sure that people understand that definition. When you connect with someone on LinkedIn, yes, you do get access to their email, but that does not mean we can take that email and drop it into our email database and send out mass emails. Yes, technically you can do one-to-one emails, and that would be coming from my Outlook or my Gmail box to your email, but I'm not adding you into a mass list. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, some of these individuals, I'm guessing they are either not clear on what the rules are, or they are understanding what the rules are, but they're choosing to go around them because they're saying, well, if you accepted my invitation, that means you're okay with receiving communications from me. So you're taking a big stretch there, guys. If that's you, if you're adding people to the list and they haven't said, add me to your list, you're taking a stretch there. Okay. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing is, you're taking a stretch, you're taking a chance. So what if you do add somebody to your email list? Then you're putting me in that awkward situation of, okay, I know I didn't subscribe. I'm getting too many emails. I don't really want to get more emails in my inbox. So now I've got to consciously take a decision to click the unsubscribe option. And now I feel like I'm snubbing you. Where, before I kind of felt like we were respecting each other back and forth. Now I kind of feel like you've taken a step a little bit past what I had asked you to do by adding me to your email list. And now I've got to push back and unsubscribe. And then the next time we see each other in person, you might say, hey, Brenda, you unsubscribed to my email list. And now I'm put in the spot to say, well, I don't remember subscribing to it. So just something to keep in mind there. And, the holiday marketing do and don't that I want to make sure we're covering here today is really related to, do we have people's permission to send them a message? And even if it just says happy holidays and you've got an animated gift snowman and things like that flying around, it's still a sales related message from your organization. You're trying to do relationship building. You are putting somebody into a mass email. And by nature of adding them into your email list, you have access to that email to send out future emails too, which would naturally assume would include prospecting emails and lead gen and drip campaign and things like that. So I just want to kind of cover that. So if you want to send out a holiday email, great. I say more power to you. I think it can be a wonderful tool. I'm probably going to send one out myself sometime this week, but don't add in people to your email mass list unless they have given you permission to do so. Okay. And then in terms of the messages themselves, I think we're getting to the point where we understand there's a lot of diversity in terms of holidays and festivals and celebrations, and that happy holidays message you cannot go wrong with. When I used to work in corporate, we would always try to focus on a message that was more celebrating the winter season itself, pictures of snowmen and snow and snowflakes and things like that. We're in Michigan, which we have a lot of snow, so that works out well. But trying to focus on more of those generic messages. Don't sell in an email. I mean, there's a place if you're pushing a happy holidays message, that's the one single point that you're making in the message. It's not happy holidays, by the way, buy a gift certificate, happy holidays, our sale ends today. I kind of like to see separation in those messages, kind of like the Vistaprint. They sent me a percentage off on, the day after Thanksgiving, and then they keep doing offers up until the day. I don't anticipate Vistaprint is just going to send me a standalone happy holidays message without a sales pitch in it because they're an organization. But if you are a small business owner, an entrepreneur, even for that matter, a large organization, a corporation or whatnot, and you're sending out a happy holidays message, that should be the single focus of it. Happy holidays. You're not selling it all. You walk away from it from there. And then if you have a list that's in place after the holidays, that's when you start doing your pitching again. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to take a look at the comments and see if anything's coming in here and see if any of you have anything to add to this. Oops, I'm going to turn my phone off. Did you hear that? This is like in stereo now that I turn my phone on. Okay. So let's see here. We had Mo. Randall, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Randall from New Orleans. I love it when people, they include the greeting that they prefer. I will respond back in kind. And even then, I sometimes I receive the Happy Hanukkah. I don't myself celebrate Hanukkah, but I'll say Happy Hanukkah back. And I like to see that there's that personal greeting in there because then we kind of know what's your preferred method of communication and greeting in there. So Professor Nez says sometimes you need to refresh your desktop. Happens when I go live too. The comments tend to lag for some reason. Thank you for that comment, Professor Nez. What was happening for me is I will go live on StreamYard on my desktop, and then I watch on the phone for my comments because there's a issue with, it's a LinkedIn issue, not a StreamYard issue. So there's an issue with getting comments live while you're on StreamYard on the desktop, and I don't like to toggle back and forth. I like to keep my screen on StreamYard so I can see you and see the comments that are coming in. But when I see those comments, I like to see them, look at them on my phone. So it could have been that I just kind of toggled back and forth, which is exactly what I think you're explaining. There's a hiccup. It's kind of like hitting the side of a ketchup bottle to get it to plop down. So I just needed to hit the side of the ketchup bottle in LinkedIn a few times, and it was working out. Michelle's joining us from Detroit. Oscar says, really Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Nagesh says, hi from India. James is Jim. You go by Jim. Hi from sunny Portland, Maine. Well, nice to have you from Maine joining us here today. Mahmood says Merry Christmas. Mo says hi. Benjamin says hi. And Wayne says thanks for the kind shout out. We are all really learning from each other, Wayne. So thank you for sharing that greeting. And if you're joining us a few minutes late here today, today's message is holiday marketing email do's and don't. So there was one question that has come in so far. I've got a, I need to adjust this again. I got one of these new desks, you guys, this standing raising electronic desk, and the little buttons are right over here. So every time I move my arm, my desk like shutters up. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I got to figure this out still. So, but the question, let's go back to the questions now. The question that somebody had asked was regarding email timing. So let me go back and read that person's name again and read the question on here. And I think it was day of the week that the person was asking about. Okay, Jessica. From Michigan, what days do you send holiday emails? And you're in B2B. And Jessica, at this point, we're really in this kind of last week or two of the year, and we're kind of winding down the holiday season. So, you know, generally speaking, the right day to send an email really kind of varies based on your business. And really think about your customers. When is the right time of day, day of week to capture them in that mode where they're receptive to your information. So let me give you two different examples. So let's assume you work with a printing company and you're looking to send email communications to individuals who may buy your printing services, marketers, salespeople, heads of organizations, things like that. You know, the right day of the week to reach those people may not be on a Monday when they're just kind of coming in off of the weekend. They've got a lot of priorities they need to cover for the week, whether it's team meetings or, you know, status calls and things like that. So Monday, there's a lot of clutter coming into their email box that day, both internal communications, external communications. So I preferably would not send an email on a Monday. I might try Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday instead. And when I do those emails, kind of think about the time of day. When would that individual most be receptive and have really the highest likelihood that they're going to be able to read your message at the time that they read it? Now, if you're targeting people from across the US or across the world and you've got different time zones, there's probably no one right time. But one thing I would always do as a marketer is I would look at my website analytics. So if I found that within my organization, the most site visitors would go to my website on a Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock, that's when I'd see a spike every week, I would send my email just a little bit before then, maybe 2:30 on Monday, okay? So look at your website for traffic patterns. That tells you when are your customers most open to receiving your information, and then try to time your email so they coincide with those peaks in your website activity. Hopefully that helps you out. Fridays, I don't think are really great days unless your messages are more focused on, if your business is focused more on weekend activities or, you know, restaurants, dining, those types of things, or a little bit more kind of a light and playful type of an approach in your messages. I think people are kind of winding down in their business focus. By Friday, we're kind of in Friday mode and less receptive to those sales messages, in my opinion, and more receptive to those more friendly type of communications. So hopefully that helps out. In terms of holiday message timing, when do things go out? When I worked in corporate, we tried to get our holiday cards and our holiday email messages all out before December 15th. So, you know, from December 1st through the 15th, I think is really the ideal time frame for you to get those messages out. One difference to that might be if you're selling people, if you're selling to people, you're trying to sell your products and services related to the holiday. So for example, you know, I'm selling LinkedIn gift certificates for that person who has everything, individuals who might need some individual LinkedIn coaching or consulting. So that's one thing that I offer. And I started doing a little bit of a promo of that right after Thanksgiving here in the States, and started, you know, I messaged it a few times on social media, and I've not done anything on my email newsletter on that. But that would be something you could think about. You know, if you're selling products and services, you know, think about the fact that people are, you know, starting to think about what they're buying for the holidays, you know, probably right after, you know, right in the beginning of November through middle of December. So you want to try to time it where it's a few weeks before, when folks are in what's referred to as kind of that pre-decision phase. So you've got the, you know, the different phases of a purchase funnel, and I'll see if I can find the graphic and link it in here a little bit later. But when people are, before they're in shopping mode, I mean, when they're in shopping mode, they've already got their two to three finalists down that they're looking at. You know, for me, when I was looking at my holiday cards, I was looking at Vistaprint, I was looking looking at Snapfish and I think Walgreens and, you know, one of the other stores locally, CVS or something like that. But at that point, I was already shopping. And if I was getting more messages sent to my email box from other vendors selling cards, I wasn't open to listening anymore because I had my top categories that were figured out. So think about your purchase timeline, what that looks like, and then try to get in front of people just before they go into that that shopping mode. Hopefully that helps you out there. All right, so let's see where we're at. So it's kind of funny because I just did this LinkedIn Live. I didn't have a pre-scheduled time for today, but I figured let's try something out on a Monday. And being that we're in the midst of holiday, and I was inspired by my holiday email marketing flurry that came in today, I just figured I'd try these things out today and get some messages out to you guys. So I've actually got to get going because I've got to finish up some shopping. I am a last minute shopper. I don't know, I've just never been an early shopper. We've got a few more things to get for family members and whatnot, and then we're hosting some family as well, so I need to get some supplies for that. So it's the 23rd. It's almost, I think it's about 12:45 p.m. Eastern time here, so I've got to get going and finish up my shopping today. Before I do so, I'm just going to take a look at the comments and see if anything else has come back in. Shake, I would say hello. Thank you for joining us on the call as well. And we're up to about 56 people, so I like to do the little notifications letting you guys know how many people are on these calls, because I'm eventually going to go back and do an archive of all of my LinkedIn Live broadcasts and start to document times of day, day of the week, how many people were on the session, and even how many comments were received live versus in the playback. So if you're joining live and if you haven't already left a comment, just say hello in the comments below. I will always acknowledge you. If you're on my live broadcast, I'll say hello back to you. One of the audience engagement tips that I teach people. And if you're watching it in playback mode, just still say hello in the playback as well. I'll still acknowledge your comment and give you a response back there too. Okay, so we're just around the corner from 2020. We're going to be wrapping up the year here. And next year, I'm going to be having an exciting series getting started with LinkedIn Live. I'll be doing some sessions like today where it's just me talking, you know, me giving you guys some tips and my insights. And other broadcasts I'll be doing in conjunction with experts in my network. And I'll be inviting individuals for marketing conversations, for social media conversations, and just asking them to share some of their insights and tips with you. So I've got a short list. I think I'm up to about a dozen or so people that will be scheduled to join. And really looking forward to that. Mo, you know, don't go too far because I'm probably going to invite you. I'm going to see who else is on the line here before we kind of close this off. We're up to 55 people still. They went down and went up, so I'm not sure if somebody dropped off or if someone new came on. But at any rate, I like to kind of look at those numbers and watch them. Those are part of my metrics on the videos here. Carol says, hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope all your holidays are simply beautiful. Same to you as well, Carol. Hope you have a very safe and happy and festive holiday season. One last thing I'm going to do before we wrap up here is I've been doing a live broadcast to Facebook at the same time as LinkedIn. So I've noticed within StreamYard that there is a way. I'm going to just pop this back up on the screen here real quick. So this is my Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/Meller Marketing, there is a way on StreamYard that I can show your comments on screen. Now I moderate these, so not everybody gets up on screen. But if you'd like to get a shout out for your business right now, I would encourage you to go out onto facebook.com/Meller Marketing, find the live stream, and just let me know your business name and I will pop it up on screen. Now, the benefit of doing that versus just going into LinkedIn is this video, after it's done, what I like to do is I pull the video down. I use it's a video production tool. Camtasia is the name of the software that I use. So I'll do some basic editing. If I had a gap at the beginning, I might cut out that gap. If I hiccuped in the middle or something with the audio or what I was saying on screen, I might cut that out. And then I will pull that video down, put it onto an MP4 file, and then upload it to YouTube. And the benefit of commenting on Facebook is I can share your comments on the screen. So your comments now become a part of the documented video that goes out on YouTube and that I archive and merchandise, if you will, to other networks. If you comment on LinkedIn, the only people who are going to see your comments are those people who are watching the live on LinkedIn or the playback on LinkedIn. And if you've noticed, these live videos are a little bit tricky to come back to. And even then, when you join the video, you can't see all of the comments all at once. There's a little bit of a workaround. I'll probably cover that in some video later. But really, for the average person coming into the video, you see the comments as they occurred during the video. So the benefit of going on Facebook instead is that you get your comments shown with the audience, and it goes in part of the embedded video as well. All right, so let's see. I am not showing any comments that are coming in here. I'm going to say hello to everyone just to show you guys this technique here. This is using StreamYard. So let me click on show. So now you can see my comment popping up on screen. Is that cool or is that cool, right? So if you were to add a comment onto Facebook, facebook.com/Meller Marketing right now with your business name, I will pop you on my screen and you will be on my screen. Okay. I'm keep dangling this carrot out for you guys to bite on, just like making a snowman. We have a carrot that we put in the nose. I dangle a carrot out in my marketing videos here, and I'm trying to give you guys some extra promotion for your businesses. So we've got about 55 people that are joining us today to learn about holiday email marketing tips and kind of covering off this conversation. This is just a general discussion about marketing and some of the future videos that I'll be doing here live on LinkedIn, going live on Facebook as well. Okay. All right. I don't think I'm getting anybody biting on this, guys. So I'm not sure if there's a little bit of a delay that's happening on Facebook where you're not seeing the stream coming up right away or not. But oh, here we go. Okay. First taker here. Ready for this? All right. Deborah Herr. Camp Bow Wow in Clarkson. And Deborah, I'm guessing that is an organization that might be like a pet sitting service or like a boarding service for animals. If you could send us a quick comment and clarify if that is the case. Camp Bow Wow, that sounds like fun. I think I'd like to go check out Camp Bow Wow. So there's Deborah. Check out Camp Bow Wow in Clarkston, Michigan. And let's see, here's another one that came in. This is from Carol Deckert. And Carol Deckert is a Send Out Cards rep. So she's put her business, and I love how you've done this on here too, Carol. You've put your business web address on here so we can actually see your web address. So isn't this cool? This is kind of a neat little feature when you're going on live streaming. I like to engage my audience, and I am a marketer as only successful as you as my audience. So I love to give you guys shout outs as I'm doing live streams just like today. So let's see. Deborah has replied, and Deborah saying daycare boarding. So yeah, I think that's in fact what I was referring to. So going back to Deborah's business again here, I'm going to show you she does Camp Bow Wow in Clarkston. So I think that's going to be about it for today, guys. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn, see if anything else has come in here. Michelle had a comment, and I was talking, and grooming. Thank you. Deborah said daycare, boarding, and grooming. There we go. Thank you, Deborah. All right, cool. So we're going to go back to LinkedIn now. And to finish off this conversation, I had Michelle just make a comment. I have people text me after adding me on LinkedIn. This annoys me. I hear you there, Michelle. And I think there's a line that that occurs with individuals. There's friendliness and there's familiarity. And it's perfectly fine to be friendly to people, to message them on LinkedIn back and forth. I think, some people cross the line into that familiarity zone or that opt-in permission zone when they add you to the email list without your permission, or when they text you. And it may not be because they're interested in doing business with you. They're just trying to be friendly with you for whatever reason. And, it's interesting, and it's difficult at times too, because you want to be approachable. I'm an independent consultant, so I want to be accessible to my clients and to my prospective clients, but this is not a party line by any means. So I want to make sure that there's a line in place that this is a phone number for doing business with me. So texting me right after, whether it's, sometimes you get that reciprocal, they connect with you and they're trying to sell to you right away. I think you got to be careful of that and being, considerate of other individuals as well. So I think that's about it, guys, here. Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Deborah, for including your URLs in the Facebook chat. This has been Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. You can see over my shoulder here, I've got my lovely holiday tree in the office and the elf on the shelf. Let's see if I can point to her. Here, elf on the shelf. She's been watching over us, and hopefully we've all been good this year. So that'll be it for me today. Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. Join me in future broadcasts on LinkedIn Live. And if you happen to be watching this in playback, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it is you're watching, do leave a comment and make sure that you like my page and follow my channel as well. Thank you, guys. Have a happy holiday season. I promise I will not email you unless you subscribe to my email list. And on that note, I'm going to put the very last thing up on screen, which is the email the web address where if you would like to subscribe to my email newsletter, since this whole message here was about not adding in people into your email list unless they have explicitly given you permission. This is the link right here if you want to get my emails from Meller Marketing. I do include marketing tips, LinkedIn tips, video messages. I'll include some of my LinkedIn live playbacks as well. So if you've missed them, you have an opportunity to see the playbacks. And I also include a list of my upcoming events and workshops. So that's it. But I promise I will not email you if I connect with you on LinkedIn. I will only email you if you have gotten yourself rather requested to be added into my email list by visiting the subscribe link right here. Does that sound fair? Okay. You guys won't do that to me, right? And I won't do it to you, right? Are we in agreement here, right? Are we seeing eye to eye? Okay, I hope so. All right, everybody. Thanks again. This has been Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. Have a great holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you online. Take care. Thanks.